All right, why do I have all these crazy relics on my desk right now? Some of my collection here, I went through and grabbed all the weirdest things that I have. A lot of them are iron or other things that probably most of the machines behind me would struggle with to hear. Some machines are better than others at finding and hearing iron, if that's a good thing. So like for example, this pick right here is made of iron, and this sticking Tommy that the miners would have used is iron, and most of this right here is several different types of pot metal that that don't sound good on a metal detector. This here, this little container with the lid on it, it's iron. And it's, you know, like I said, these machines are designed to reject iron. Here's a beautiful fork, a two-pronged fork with a bone handle on it, 1820s, 30s, iron. And probably again, my CTX 3030 would not have heard that fork or this gun. So what I did is I took the Minelab Manticore and I built a custom program that allowed, I swung all these things over it until I made a perfect custom program that let all this stuff through, but kept the nails out and kept the little bits of flat iron out. And of course it let all the good stuff like the coins and the buttons and everything else that we want, the jewelry, all still comes through fine. So basically this pattern that I built is really cool. It's gonna let you find a little bit more of the stuff that you normally would just discriminate out if you were using factory programs. So if you're interested in checking this out, stand by and we'll get started right now. So let's go ahead and take a look now at the machine. You're seeing the screen right now. Let's go ahead and start swinging a few things over. We'll start with the gun. Here's the gun. Let's listen to that real quick. Take a look on the screen. No matter which way I turn it, it's going to hear it. So that's what that pattern is going to look like, and you can see how the customization of my discrimination pattern lets that through. Very notoriously hard to hear these. These are called sticking Tommies. The miners use these. They'd stick them into the wall and put a candle in here, and they used it for other things as well, but that's the primary use of it. But notoriously very hard to hear. Let's listen to it. Man, try that on any other machine with this thing, and you'll find that most machines don't hear it very well. And here's one of those little oil lamps. It's got a few different pieces of metal on it. Very thin, and it's just notoriously, again, hard to hear. Let's listen to it. We'll spin it around different ways. It hears it. All right, and this is off of an old Kentucky rifle, 1830s. Let's listen to that. Look at that screen. Comes through fine. And this lock, these locks are very hard to find. It's just pure iron, except for this brass right here. These are very tough to detect, so especially when they're covered with rust. But let's see if the machine will hear it. It's going to be tricky, and the machine doesn't hear this very well with this pattern, but it's good enough that you would at least stop on it, and it's repeatable, so you probably would dig it. It does come through. All right, so basically what I did is I took about another 40 or 50 items that I had, swung them over the machine, of course went through all the different coins, my buttons, all my buttons, scale weights, pieces of lead, Chinese coins, everything that I could think of, pewter buttons, tomback, all that stuff. Swung it all over the machine and everything comes through, yet you still get a lot of good discrimination for nails and flat iron. So anyway, that's where we're at with this. That's where this whole discrimination pattern is built on. Let's go ahead and take a deep dive into it, and I'll show you how to set it up and also kind of teach you how to not be afraid. A lot of people are very intimidated of the customization of the discrimination pattern. I'm going to walk you through it and show you how to not be afraid of it. So here we go. Stand by. All right, so here's the fun part. Don't get discouraged by this. It's not that hard. Once you kind of just watch this video a couple times, you'll get it down, I promise. So here's my discrimination pattern. It's custom, and you can see when I turn it off or turn it on with the horseshoe. And you can see there's a full line on the left over here, and then you have those graduated upper and lower limits, okay? Let's take a look at my settings right now. Volume wherever you want it. I'm going to be in all-terrain general. And then noise cancel, you'll put that, after you noise cancel, you'll do a ground balance. Recovery speed, I'm going to run mine at 3 until I get into heavy iron, then I'll start going up a little bit. And then discrimination pattern, we're going to mess with that, and the ferrous limits will mess with that. And then ferrous tones, I'm in ferrous volume at 8. That's because I wear headphones and I like that for the volume. When I go over to pitch, I like 1. And let's see, let's go back to Stabilizer, it's off for now. Just leave it off for now. And then we're going to go, and target tones is very important. You have to be in 5 region all tones for this to work, for my pattern to work. 5 region all tones. So you could kind of just go left or right till you see that 5, not this one, 5 tone, it's 5 region all tones, okay? And then audio theme, I'm running normal with a threshold level of 8. I like a decent threshold in there, and this is a little unusual. I have a threshold pitch of 8 as well. A lot of other people use low pitches like 1 or 2 because they like the threshold to be there, but they don't necessarily want the threshold to be a sound that is associated with something they're trying to listen for. So I don't want to be a 1 on this because I don't want my threshold to sound like iron grunts. Therefore, I wouldn't be able to know the difference between threshold and an iron grunt because they have the same pitch. So I'm up at 8, and that's a good number for me. Not very many things come in at 8. So threshold pitch of 8 is a ear-pleasing tone to me, and I can handle listening to it for a while. And you're going to want to mess with that and see where you want to put it, but try mine. See if you like threshold level of 8 with headphones and a threshold pitch of 8, simple profile. And let's see what else. All right, let's get started with discrimination pattern. So make sure your discrimination pattern custom. You can see you can all metal custom, right? When you're on custom, hit the pencil, the edit. And now what this does is the top number up here is the ID range. It goes from 0 to 99. And if I were to, right now it's on 0. If I go to the right, see it moving? See, it can go all the way up to 99. And keep in mind that anything down here is a low conductor. Anything in the middle is a middle conductor. And on the right is going to be your high conductors like your coins, silver, and stuff like that. So we're going to bring this all the way back down to 0. We start on the left edge. And then the selection width is how much do you want to select at one time. So it goes from 1 up to 3, up to 5, up to 10, and up to 20. So for example, if you wanted to block out 0 to 20, well, it's red, you could hit this button over here, and that would block out everything from 0 to 20. In other words, if you had an item that had a target ID of 17, and you swung it over the coil right now, it will be blanked out. You won't hear it. That's because the discrimination pattern is blanking out everything from 0 to 20. Let's go back down to 0. And we're going to put that back so it's now there's no discrimination pattern. See that? Back to 0, and then you're going to change this to 3. To 3, okay? And then hit your check mark there. Then I want you to go one more right arrow click. So you're at 4, and then you're going to hit it one more time. You're going to hit select 0 to 4 as being blacked out. So you can see right now it's blanked out from 0 to 4. You have to very carefully look at this. When I have 3 parked all the way against the left edge, you can still, there's one sliver of one more column in there. I'm blanking out 0 to 4. This could be a little tricky because it's not indicating this up here to you. If I were to toggle over to the edge of that, you would see right there it'd be at 4. So 0 to 4 is blanked out. You got that? Okay. When you're done with that, hit back. And let's go back out and just take a look at that. See how we blanked out 0 to 4? Now we're going to go up to Ferris Limits Custom 1. And hit your pencil to edit. You have to look very carefully now on here and find the little red dot. Right now it's on the top Ferris limit on the very right edge. If I hit left arrow, you can see the red dot jumping across. Now it's right here. If I go to the right, you can see it moving. So I'm going to start with the first one and then toggle to the right. It's jumping across. So I did the first 5, then it goes over to here to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So because I'm in 5 regions, that's why we have 5 parts that we can change. All right, do me a favor and just go left or right all the way till you get to the first dot right here. First dot. I don't know where yours is going to be. It's custom, so what I want you to do is hit the pencil and just put it at 38 and 10. If you find that you can't do that because these other ones are too far over this way, it might be better for you to start kind of backwards on this. And what I mean by that is from here, toggle over to the far right one over there. the far right edge dot, wherever yours is at, hit the pencil and put it at 99.25. 99.25. Once you get it there, just hit back. And then hit left so that the dot moves backwards to the next dot, and then 95.24. 95.24. You got that? Hit back. We're going to go left again with the arrow. Now we're on the third dot. That's going to be with the pencil with the edit, 83.19. Put it at 83.19, okay? Hit back. And then we're going to go left one more time to the second dot. That's going to be 58.13. 58.13. And then the first dot is 38.10. Now, if you're trying to memorize all these numbers right here and follow me along and I'm going too fast, down in the description of this video is a document that you can download. And if you download the document, you can print it or look at it or whatever you want to do, but it'll have all these numbers on it. So you don't have to sit there and try to catch up to me as I'm ripping through here. All right, now we got the top done. So the first dot, 38.10, and then we have, oops, careful about that. Then we got 58.13, 83.19, 95.24, and 99.25. If you hit right one more time, drops down to the bottom. And this one's going to be 2 and 0. 2 and 0 on that one. Again, you might have to work backwards here, like we did on the top. If you want to do that, just go all the way to the right edge, to the far right edge down here on the bottom. Hit this, and we're going to do 99 minus 20. 99 minus 20, okay? Return, go left to the fourth dot, 86 minus 16. 86 minus 16 on that one. And then we're going to go to the third dot, edit it, 78 minus 10. And then we're going to go over to the second dot, it's 38 minus 10. It doesn't really matter, that's the same line all the way across. This number could be anywhere, right guys, because it's not changing anything. So that first number doesn't mean anything. The minus 10 does though. All right, and then back. And then we're going to go to the first dot over here, and that's going to be 2, 0. So there's my custom pattern. You made it. If you made it through all that, I appreciate you taking the time to figure it out and being patient and following along with me. If you have any questions or anything about any of that, go down in the comments and leave a comment or a question, and I'm happy to help you along with that if you have any certain questions about that, or maybe just rewatch the video again. I think I made it pretty clear, and I do check all of my comments, by the way. All right, that's it for that part of it. And like I said, you already know the rest of the setup. Stabilizer, you can run it if you start running into trouble with nails. If you're having a situation where some of the nails are popping through over in here, with stabilizer it will help you. And what I mean by that is stabilizer on with a setting of 4 and on for filter, or off filter, depending on what you want. What does filter do? It just makes it quiet. Makes the signal quiet if it thinks it's going to be iron. So it degrades it up here and chops up the audio and makes it sound crappy, and makes it quiet if this is on with that. So chops it up and makes it quiet. So anyway, run your stabilizer at 4 and your filter on or off, whatever you desire, if you start running into trouble with nails. Other than that, maybe just leave it off. Oops, leave it off if you're not digging nails. And you know, digging in a nail, an occasional nail here and there is going to happen on every metal detector made by every brand. So it's an issue with all machines, and if you dig a nail here and there, it's not the end of the day. It's something that we can't overcome on any machine yet. So just got to kind of live with it, but stabilizer could help you. That's it. That's it for the whole setup, guys. I have my sensitivity all the way down at 5 right now because I'm indoors. Let me go ahead and break away from this part of the video, and we'll do a little wrap up here at the end. Again, I hope that you were able to follow through. If not, just rewind it, go back and just slowly creep along with me. You'll get it. It's not that bad. All right, stand by for the last part of the video right now. All right. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope that you were able to follow along and that I didn't go too quick for you there. If nothing else, now you know how to customize your upper and lower limits and your discrimination pattern. So even if you don't go out in the field and use this, if nothing else, it was a great exercise to teach you how to do that. But I will say that it's exciting now to know that I have a chance to find more of these kind of relics right here. And I can't tell you how many times I was out there with my CTX 3030 right next to a guy on an XP Deus or something else, and he finds something really cool like that. I swing over it and I don't hear it, and I'm like, dang, I wonder how many of these I missed. So anyway, with the Minelab Manticore set up this way, at least you have a fighting chance now to find some really cool iron relics. And maybe it's not just iron, maybe it's just the way that it's dissimilar metals or the shape. But this thing now, I threw all this crazy stuff at it and it hurt it all. So there you go. And like I said in my last video, if you didn't get a chance to watch my last video, there's a new thing here on the channel called memberships now. All of us YouTubers got something now called memberships. It's kind of like Patreon, and you can join and become a member of the channel. There's all kinds of extra benefits you get in there, including discounts on merch and other things. So take a look at that. I think it's down here somewhere in the bottom left corner, talking about that. And then I'm also going to put up in this corner right now a complete guide to the Manticore that's on my channel. So check that out if you're new to the machine or if you have any questions. It walks you through every setting on the machine. There you go. That's it. I hope that you guys test this out, and if you do, if you have luck with it, please come back and tell me, check back in, go down and leave me a comment, let me know that you had luck with it and that you found something cool. And I'll catch you guys next time. Take care. Thanks.